good question. With Sassy Digital, I got to a point where this was 3 years ago, I actually used to live in Bournemouth with an ex-boyfriend of mine, and I got to a point where I was like, why am I living here? I don't live near any of my friends, and I kind of did feel a bit like, I'm 3 years into my business, shouldn't after 3 years it feel easy? And it didn't. And I got to a point, and I think I said this to a lady over here earlier somewhere, I got to a point where I was like, I didn't feel confident to really post that much on social media, even though you wouldn't believe it now if you follow me. It's actually quite disturbing how many videos I post. But I just thought, you know what, if I don't do this, I'm not going to make any money. And it wasn't, I didn't have anything to kind of like fall back on, because I always just thought, if it fails, I'll get a job. But my pride really would have taken a hit. And so that's kind of what motivates me, is the idea of trying something and failing without having put all of my all into it was the kind of biggest motivation for me. For Sassy, I moved home, went to London to kind of work in a co-working space, and that's when things started to change for me, as well as posting stuff online. And then with Partner in Wine, I just had this real like fire in my belly, and I was like, this is a good idea. So I don't know if I necessarily needed the motivation, because I was like, I've got the skills, I feel like I've got the experience. And then in my head I was like, the thing is, if I keep posting about wine, people will start to send it to me for free. and they did. And so that kind of, at the early stages, those were the things that kind of kept me going. And then post that, obviously, everything that happened to me kind of validated my decision. So getting stocked in Selfridges, and as you said earlier, Harpreet, making those goals that, in my head, I was like, I want to be stocked in Selfridges. I will not stop until I'm there. Got it. And then I was like, okay, what next? So that's kind of what the motivation for me in both situations is. And I suppose with Partner in Wine, even the whole like failure thing still does keep me going every day. But I'm kind of thinking, what's next? And that really kind of keeps me moving forward and keeps me ticking off that to-do list, rather than going, I didn't make a sale today, or whatever it happens to be for you in your business. If you just think about what's next and, okay, how are you going to make a sale tomorrow? Hopefully that will keep you going. So, yeah.
Merlie, how about you? I think that's a really good question. I'd say a couple of things here. The first is a piece of advice that Holly Tucker shared with me. So Holly founded Not on the High Street. She has Holly & Co. She is a complete force and very inspiring as a female role model. And she said, build a business with a purpose that's bigger than you, that others will believe in, and then everybody becomes a movement, and sometimes they will carry it when you're not feeling it. And I think that is such a good piece of advice. Don't build a business for yourself alone. Your passion is really important, and there'll be times when you're the only person in the room who believes in your dream, and that's fine. Your idea, as you talk to more people, as you network more, as you really start to gain momentum, and other people will feel like it's their mission too. And I think for me, Farrell means brave. It's the name of somebody as well. Farrell is the more popular name, it's a Gaelic name. And to me, Farrell Brave embodies the very spirit of entrepreneurialism, because it takes serious guts to run a business, but you've got to be so much braver to keep it going. And I think for me, I wrapped our brand around me like armour. Farrell means brave, so I've got to be brave, because that's what our community expect me to be. And it's fine to admit on some days that I'm not feeling brave at all, actually. I have no idea what's going on. 6.5 years in, 5.5 years in, I've got a business worth 10 million. With fundraisers, we have a community that is in the millions who have access to our product. You'd kind of think by the time you reach this point, yeah, okay, I will know what I'm doing tomorrow when I wake up. But there's always a new challenge. There's always something that you haven't done before. And I think the mission and the movement or the community are really what motivate me more than anything, because there are testimonials that you'll get from people who will say, this thing that you created or that your team created, this changed my life, this made it possible for me to do something. And I think when people tell you that, it's like, I'm doing this and I'm doing good, and there's an impact and it matters, and that's really what motivates me.
Harpreet, you touched on it in your talk, but how do you deal with it when you suffer a little bit of lack of motivation? I can imagine that.
It's true. Even I do feel demotivated at times. I don't wake up, thinking I'm a business. I was going to say a swear word then. I shouldn't say that. I'm not always ready to go every single morning. And as you get further and further and deeper into your business, it actually becomes even more difficult to stay motivated. Because at the start, it's really exciting, made this amazing product. It's so cool. Everyone's going to buy it. And you start to delve into the world of business and you tick things off your to-do list. Yeah, I've registered my company. Lovely. I've got a lovely logo. I've set up an Instagram account. And it all seems very, very fun. As you get deeper and deeper into it, not only do you have to juggle all of that, and then tax, and then rebrand because your first round wasn't very good, and then look for investment, run a website, run all these brand new platforms, consistently put out content. It's really tough. So I love what you ladies said. Like Merlie, like you said, sometimes you don't feel that motivated, but it's the support network that you've got around you that keeps you going. And Lucy, I'm very, very similar in terms of, yeah, I've been stocked in Selfridges, but what's next? Let me move on to my next goal. So it's really about appreciating how far you've come. For me, this sounds, potentially not everyone would agree with this, but for me, it's a choice, I don't have this inner deep, deep passion to make waffles and ice cream for the rest of my life. Like, believe it or not, I don't. I want to be successful. I love my business and I love what I do. Yeah. I feel like there's a lot of pressure often that says, okay, find your inner why. Why do you do what you do? What's your big passion? And I feel almost envious sometimes when I see companies or brands out there that have this bigger purpose. I don't particularly have that, I want to do a really good job at what I've found that I'm good at doing. And we'll see how the journey goes, and I'm going to give it my all. But for me, it's almost a choice. It's black and white, It's really up to you if you want to be motivated or not. Yeah. Accept that life is going to take you on a crazy journey. Things are going to happen where you feel demotivated. Accept that it's part of a journey. You're not going to feel great every day, but it's only up to you to decide, am I going to be miserable, demotivated, feel really sorry for myself, feel bad that I have to juggle all of these things, and just genuinely not feel great? Or am I going to make a choice to be like, okay, do you know what? Maybe I'm not feeling so good today, but I'm not going to let that get in my way of my goals. I'm still going to get up. I'm still going to show up, turn up, give myself that respect that I deserve, be proud of myself that, yes, I might not have achieved what I normally would have, but at least I've done X, Y, Z. And you just feel so much better for it, because for me, there's just no alternative. I really want a happy, fun, fulfilled life. I want to be the best version of myself. Why would I not want to be? So motivation is a choice for me. I get up, I show up, and I turn up, regardless of maybe other things that might make me feel a little bit drained.